Good evening, guys. Welcome to FPL Team Talk. This is the third and final video about the transfer market that I'm going to make. It was a three-part gripping drama about whether you could make a transfer profit through a wildcard, which I started 2 weeks ago. Just to see if I've always wanted to do it. I just thought, let's have a go. It's the international window. Let's try it and let's see if I can. I didn't actually activate a wildcard, but I did everything as if I would. I tracked the players' values, put them in, made sure I could afford it, and then sort of seen what would have happened at the other end. So let's have a little look at the conclusion of that. Please, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're new this year. Thanks for everyone who's supporting us so far. Really appreciate it. But yeah, it'd be great to have any new subscribers on board. Click it if you like the video. More great content coming out. All that good stuff. Let's have a look at what we made of our wildcard. Okay. First of all, then, the parameters of this. The wildcard team itself isn't that important, and I'll come back to that in a minute. But I just picked 15 players that were on the cusp of getting a price rise, and I used FPL statistics. So the game week 8, the moment that finished, or was it? Yeah, no, the moment that finished, I just activated my wildcard straight away, took the prices down. Those players that I thought were going to jump up in prices, I got on them. The actual value of that team was 98.6. I did it during this international break because it's 2 weeks, so I actually felt the prices would fluctuate more, and there'd be a lot of people wildcarding. So that was a reason for using that 2-week international break as a sort of measure of the experiment. So what actually happened, 11 players went up by 0.1 million out of 15. So actually 4 didn't even go up. So even though they're all 90% ownership about to go up, none of them actually did that. 4 of them didn't actually go up. No one player actually went up by 0.2, which I was surprised at. But you know what, that was good. It was the findings were the findings, that's where they were. So what that meant really was, I suppose, that in order to get any sort of profit from the transfer, I've got to have them go up by 0.2. So if I actually brought them in at the start of the wildcard, they went up by 0.2, I then shifted them and lost them, got rid of them, moved on to a different player, then I would have made 0.1. And I was hoping to do that 3 or 4 times. I was hoping that, well, actually, I can make 0.3 here by doing nothing more than just getting on popular players, deciding if I want them or not, and if I don't, I can move on to someone else in between a game week and make 0.3. That's what I was hoping for, and that's what I'd heard rumours about. Whether or not it works in other international windows and other weeks, we'll have to find out by doing this experiment again. But actually, no one actually did go up by all that much. So my conclusions from this little mini experiment were, I would have saved, to be fair, if I jumped on my wildcard straight away, 5 or 6 players that went up in value, I would have kept. So to put this and try and make this as simple a way as I can to help you explain, if I hadn't activated my wildcard straight, if I'd ummed and ahed about it, then at the last minute decided, you know what, I'm going to have to do my wildcard. And I brought in players like Salah, I brought in players like Thiago Silva who went up in price, players like, who else do we have that went up in price, Livramento and stuff like that. If I'd done that at the last minute, brought them in, I would have ended up paying between 0.5 and 0.7 more in my side for bringing those players in. If I'd just done it at the start, set a team that I quite liked, and then at the end of it tweaked it, okay, that's one thing. But if I'd still kept those players from the start, I would have sort of been able to lock in that transfer profit. So whereas I'm not actually making any money as such, I would have saved myself, depending on how many of those players you would have kept, 0.5 to 0.7 million. I mean, players like Cancelo absolutely would have jumped on, kept him. Salah, they both went up in price. So by doing them later on in a week, wildcard in the second week, they would have gone up in price, which just sounds obvious. But over a wildcard period, 2-week period over international break, more players move in price, and because wildcards, too many people are bringing them in. So no particular profit of moving on. I will give a caveat to that. If I brought in Mo Salah and Cancelo, they have gone up by 0.1. So actually, they haven't got a profit yet that I can cash in, but later on, yes, they could have. So and no profit as such. I'm not. The experiment was to find out. I suppose the theory was I can set a team, bank some profit because they've gone up by 0.2, then switch to some other players at the end of the week, and then when I come to do my rehash my wildcard at the end of 2 weeks, I've got an extra part of 0.5 million to spend. It didn't work out that way at all. But in conclusion, if I think I'm going to wildcard, I'm better off doing it at the start of the week. If I'm pretty sure I'm going to wildcard, do it early. Get on those players that you think are going to price rise and take advantage of that, because later on in the week, 0.5 million is quite a lot. That's going to be the difference between going for a Smith Rowe and a Saka and stuff like that, 0.7. So it could make a difference to your mini league rivals, could make a difference to your overall rank. So it was an interesting experiment. Will it be the same in all international windows? I don't know, is the answer. I would have, if, in hindsight, I wish I'd done it in that first international window. As more active players, more people knee-jerk in reaction, wanting to get higher in their leagues and make changes. So maybe that first week there was, but this one still quite early in the season. Just nothing that could make a profit on straight away. But that 0.5 to 0.7 is not to be sniffed at. Okay guys, I hope you found this in some ways useful. That was the original question, so make sure, could you make a transfer profit through a wildcard? So for me, it's probably a resounding no, but I wouldn't have lost any money either, so that was the other crucial question to ask. Okay guys, don't forget, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like, make any comments. If you think you've actually made money on a wildcard, please let me know. I'd love to hear if you did it in your first wildcard, if you did actually make, is it a myth or is it actually true? In the meantime guys, good luck, speak to you soon.